The House will come to order. We begin our proceedings today with heavy hearts following the tragic attacks in Brussels early this morning. As New Yorkers, we are all too familiar with the devastating effects of violence and terrorism. We also know that the weight of this tragedy is felt not only by those who were targeted in Belgium this morning, but in communities across the globe. The healing process may be long and trying, but we have no doubt that the city of Brussels will come back stronger and more united. Sometimes finding the strength to live on seems the only true defense against these cowardly acts of violence. I remind New Yorkers that it is days like this we must embrace our loved ones, put our differences aside, and choose instead to stand together for the sake of life, liberty, and peace. I pray that the people of Brussels will find their strength in each other and take comfort in knowing that they are not alone. At this time, let us pause for a moment of silence. Thank you. Visitors are invited to join members in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Quorum being present, the clerk will read the Journal of Monday, March 21st. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I move to dispense with a further reading of the Journal of Monday, March 21st, and that the same stand approved.
Without objection, so ordered. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for what I expect will be another busy day here. Let's begin. Before I go to the schedule, I might note on March 22nd in history, a few important things of note happened. For instance, on this day in 1790, Thomas Jefferson began his term as the first United States Secretary of State and continued on to be a remarkable career in American politics. On this day in 1872, Illinois became the first state to require equality among the sexes when it related to employment. And on this day in 1997, Tara Lipinski of the United States won the World Figure Skating Championship in Switzerland at the age of 14, making her the youngest women's world figure skating champion in history. With that as a context, let's talk about our schedule for the day. We will, members have on their desks the main calendar, and after introductions and any housekeeping we might have, members should be aware that the following committees will be meeting off the floor today: Ways and Means and Rules. So if you're a member of either of those two committees, be on special alert for those announcements. These meetings will produce an A calendar, and we will be taking up bills from the A calendar. We will also work today from the main calendar, and we'll continue our work on consent, beginning with calendar number 250. Members on both sides should be aware there will be the need for party conferences once our work on the floor has been completed. So with that, Mr. Speaker and colleagues, as a general outline, if there are any introductions of housekeeping, this would be the time to take those up.
No housekeeping, but an introduction by Ms. Weinstein.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to take a moment to introduce to the House a guest of myself and Assemblyman Goldfeder, who is here, Dr. Alan Singer, the executive, who's in the rear of the chamber, the executive director of the Shalom Task Force. Dr. Singer and a number of the staff from the organization were in my office earlier, meeting with a number of members and describing some of the programs that the Shalom Task Force runs. In particular, of note is a domestic violence hotline, as well as legal services for victims of domestic violence. They're a program that's well respected certainly in my home borough and serves people throughout the city and beyond. And if we could offer Dr. Singer the cordialities of the House.
Certainly, on behalf of Ms. Weinstein and Mr. Goldfeder, we welcome you here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of the floor. We commend you on the work that you do in these communities to help individuals in need. We are always happy to have you and hope that you will come back and join us very soon. Thank you so very much. Mr. Santa Barbara for an introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to interrupt the proceedings for the purposes of an introduction. Today, I'm very pleased to introduce Megan Ripple from the Fort Hunter Fire and Hose Company in Montgomery County. She is here with us. Megan, in 2008, joined the fire department at age 16, has worked her way up to becoming the department's first female assistant chief. She is committed to fire service, and she balanced high school, college, and multiple jobs while completing her services in the fire department and her fire study services as well. She has completed the training she is needed to become an outstanding firefighter. She protects our community each and every day and serves with great pride. She has training in hazardous material operations and a host of other trainings that makes her a well-qualified public servant. She is also proud to serve as the department's certified emergency medical technician. Megan is a tremendous asset to the department, has held various positions, including secretary, district commissioner, and served 2 terms as president. I'm so very pleased to have her joining us here in the chamber today, Mr. Speaker. If you would welcome her and extend to her all the cordialities of the House.
Certainly, on behalf of Mr. Santa Barbara, the Speaker, and all the members, Assistant Chief, we welcome you here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of the floor and commend you on the volunteer work that you're doing and your efforts to help ensure the safety of your community. Thank you so very much, and be always welcome here. Ms. Russell for an introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I interrupt the proceedings today for the purposes of an introduction. We are joined today by Dr. Kristen Esterberg, the 16th president of the State University of New York at Potsdam. She is joined by Alexandra Jacobs Wilkie and several students, I think 4, from SUNY Potsdam that have joined here today. Last week, this body passed a resolution honoring a significant milestone in SUNY Potsdam's history. This year, they are celebrating their 200th anniversary as being a college here in the state of New York. They were one of the first 50 colleges here, and it's a tremendous accomplishment that this campus in the far northern part of our state has been around for so long and continues to endure and be very successful today as it wasn't at its beginning. They tried to form their school in Potsdam, New York in 1812. The community rallied and asked that they be granted a charter for their one-room school, as it was at that time. It got delayed a little bit. Many of you history buffs may, when we say the year 1812, it may ring in your ears, but there were significant battles and skirmishes fought in the North Country in 1812, so efforts to found the school were derailed until 1816, but, I think we're all happy that we were successful in the War of 1812, and, well, I think most of us are. One of my colleagues could go either way. But it's always been a difficult life in the North Country, but for an institution of higher education to be so fought for in the community and nurtured, it became part of the normal school system, eventually becoming absorbed into the SUNY system. It is the only comprehensive that we have in the North Country, so it is relied upon not only by the entire state, but particularly in the North Country, as it is accessible, geographically to so many of us. I'll note that my mother and my sister are graduates of SUNY Potsdam, so it also has a special place in my heart. But as they are in the midst of celebrating their 200th anniversary, I'll be presenting them with a proclamation as well today, but I would really love, if you could extend to them and bestow upon them our gratitude for their perseverance and really the central role that they play in keeping the American dream alive, not only in this state, but in the North Country, as education is paramount to our continued success. If you would please extend to them the cordialities of the House, I would greatly appreciate it.
Certainly. Mr. Butler on the same topic.
Well, well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm proud to join my colleague in welcoming this group from Potsdam. I'm a Potsdam alumni. I spent a lovely few years there, and I have great memories. And thanks to good fortune and fate and the majority's redistricting plan, I've been able to go back to the North Country. I'm now in St. Lawrence County again, very near Potsdam, and have the opportunity to see firsthand what a great job Dr. Esserberg is doing. So I'm pleased to join and welcome you here today, and wish you all the best, and join in asking that you provide them with the cordialities of the House, Mr. Speaker.
Certainly. On behalf of Ms. Russell, Mr. Butler, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome these distinguished guests from Potsdam University here to the New York State Assemblywomen. President, we are always pleased to have you with us, your fine-looking students and staff that are with you. Congratulations on 200 years. That is an accomplishment and a tribute both to the school, to the community, and to the state. Thank you so very much, and we really are happy to have you. Ms. Hunter for an introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to introduce a group of very bright students from West Genesee High School and their teacher, Mr. Mike Peterset. They're all taking part in a class on public affairs, which focuses on teaching students how to identify and address problems in their community. This year, the class has turned its attention toward addressing poverty in Central New York by helping people access the Earned Income Tax Credit and raising funds for a local organization working to end homelessness. I would like to point out one student who has stood out, Hannah Humphrey, who was named salutatorian for this year's graduating class. I know that all my colleagues will join me in applauding all their work, and so I ask that you extend to them the privileges of the floor and the cordialities of the House. Thank you.
Mr. Magnarelli on the same subject.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I, too, rise today to welcome these students from West Genesee High School. We had a great morning, a wonderful session with a lot of great questions that were asked. And, you know, it's wonderful to see young people like this here in the chamber learning about public service and what it means to be a legislator and asking about all of the things that we do on a daily basis. So thank you very much for coming. And Mr. Speaker, would you please offer them all the cordialities and the hospitality of the House? Thank you.
On behalf of Ms. Hunter, Mr. Magnarelli, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome you here to the New York State Assembly. We commend you on the work that you're doing. Those topics are extremely timely and interesting. We hope you are not only just learning, but it may be imparting some new ideas so that we may pursue new ways to solve those very old problems. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your interest. And we hope to see you back here very soon. Thank you. Mr. Kearns for an introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to interrupt the proceedings. I have a surprise guest today. I have Linda Herbert. Linda, if you can wave your hand, she might be coming down now. She's here with Debbie, Claire, Liam, and Ryan, her niece and two nephews. We're looking for Debbie. I told her to come down. Well, I'm gonna tell this story, and it's really important. Many of us go walking out and there's a firefighter's memorial, and Linda's husband's on there. Linda's husband, at the age of 34, was fighting a fire in the city of Buffalo, and the roof collapsed on him. Linda's husband, for 10 years, was in a coma, did not speak, and Linda didn't give up on her husband. After 10 years of fighting, he miraculously woke up for 2 or 3 days. And Linda and her sons, who she's had 3 sons go on to become Buffalo firefighters afterwards, they had an opportunity to finally speak with their father, to talk with their father. And I didn't know Linda was coming here today, but every time I walk around and I look at that firefighter monument, I think of him and I go to his name and I say a prayer for him, just like all our firefighters and our first responders when they go out and they do something for us, give of themselves, and in many instances, they give their lives. So Linda, I know you're hiding somewhere. I think she's coming down, but her and her family made the ultimate sacrifice. Her husband, Don, is a true hero, and once again, I'd like to offer her the cordialities of the floor. She gave the ultimate price, her husband and the future together. So, Mr. Speaker, maybe we could revisit this when she comes back. I think she's on her way down, but I just want to at least let her be recognized in this people's house.
Well, Mr. Kearns, why don't we wait
Thank you so much.
appropriately? In the meantime, we will go to Mr. Curran.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to interrupt the proceedings today for the purposes of an introduction. We have with us today a great group of kids from the Baldwin High School, both seniors and juniors, that have come up to visit their legislators, both myself, Assemblywoman Hooper, and Senator Bendito. And they were asking a lot of great questions, Mr. Speaker, about funding for their schools in the upcoming budget. They're also with many teachers and parents, along with Baldwin School President Karen Reed and Baldwin School Board Member Annie Jareska. I would just ask that you welcome this great bunch of kids here to Albany and extend all the privileges and the courtesies of the floor to them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Certainly, on behalf of Assemblymember Curran, Ms. Hooper, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome these distinguished students here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of a floor. We hope that you have had a great trip here to Albany today and that you will find it somewhat instructive in terms of how government functions as it should on your behalf. Thank you so very much, and welcome to the New York State Assembly. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. At this time, I'd like to ask members of the Ways and Means Committee to meet in the Speaker's conference room. Mr. Farrell is awaiting the arrival of members of the Ways and Means Committee.
Ways and Means Committee, Speaker's conference room immediately. Thank you. Mr. Morelli?
Yes, sir. As that's happening, if we could turn our attention to page 3 of the main calendar and take up resolutions beginning with Assembly Resolution 1098 by Ms. Schimmel.
Clerk will read.
Resolution number 1098, Ms. Schimmel. Legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim April 7th through the 23rd, 2016 as Osteopathic Medicine Week in the state of New York in conjunction with the observance of National Osteopathic Medicine Week.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 1099, Ms. Malliotakis. Legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim April 30th, 2016 as Therapy Animal Day in the state of New York.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 1100, Mr. Montesano. Legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim March 2016 as Social Workers Recognition Month in the state of New York.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted. Ms. Solange for an introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me an introduction. In the back of the chamber, we have the Elmont Union Free School District, which is comprised of great musicians from the string, band, and jazz master programs. Today, we had the delightful experience of hearing them play so many different classics, which includes Star Wars. And so we are celebrating Music in Our Schools Month. And so we'd like to thank the music directors, which include Xavier Rodriguez, Lisa Bradsax, and Anthony Pino for bringing these students all the way from Elmont to our beautiful chamber. And we'd like to extend all the cordiality of the House.
Certainly, on behalf of Ms. Solange, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome these wonderful students from Elmont here to the New York State Assembly, and also parents and supervisors, and you get the award for the most in one group that we've seen all year. You filled up the House. Congratulations, and I hope you enjoy this day. Obviously, you've made Ms. Solange very happy by joining her here in Albany. Thank you. Mr. Palmisano.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to interrupt the proceedings for the purpose of an introduction on behalf of myself and Assemblyman Chris Friend. Joining us in the back of the chambers today are a few important people that want you to know about. Ricky and Jordan Taylor from Wayne Taylor Racing and the IMSA Tudor United Sports Car Series are here joining us today to drive the number 10 Corvette car, and actually they'll be racing at the Salient 6-Hour Sports Car Series at Watkins Glen International from June 1st to July 3rd. And tickets are on sale now if anyone's interested. Also joining us in the back of the chamber when we talk about Watkins Glen International is John Beckman. He's the Vice President for Business Development and Partnerships, and Christopher Banker, the Public Relations Manager. And just to tell my colleagues a little bit about Watkins Glen International, every year the Glen hosts the single largest sporting event in the state of New York, the Cheez-It 355 at the Glen NASCAR Series race, which draws over 100,000 spectators on the final day. It also hosts the Finger Lakes Wine Festival, the Finger Lakes Beer Festival, the Sports Car Series, the Vintage Grand Prix Series, and daily track rentals. And last year, there was a poll done by USA Today about all the tracks all across this country, and Watkins Glen International was voted the #1 track in the country. I'm proud to be the representative for that area. I know Chris Friend, who used to represent that area. We're proud to have these distinguished guests in the chamber, a very important part of our economic development and tourism in the state. And if you could kindly welcome our guests here and extend the cordiality to the House, we appreciate it.
Certainly. On behalf of Mr. Palmisano, Mr. Friend, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome these distinguished guests from Watkins Glen, drivers and officials. We want to thank you for what you do to enhance the economic development of our state and the entertainment in our state. We want to encourage you to continue that. We extend to you the privileges of the floor and hope that you will come back and that, in fact, you'll be winners this year. Thank you so very much. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, sir. Thank you. If we can begin our work on page 26 of the main calendar, beginning with calendar number 250 by Ms. Lepardo.
Clerk will read.
Assembly 6568, calendar 250, Ms. Lepardo, an act to amend the social services law.
The bill is laid aside.
Assembly 6644D, calendar 252, Mr. Engelbright, an act to amend the retirement and social security law.
The bill is laid aside.
Assembly 6714, calendar 253, Ms. Weinstein, an act to amend the civil practice law and rules.
The bill is laid aside.
Assembly 6731, calendar 254, Mr. Crespo, an act to amend the general business law.
The bill is laid aside.
Assembly 6834, calendar 255, Mr. Crespo, an act to amend the insurance law.
The bill is laid aside.
Assembly 6872A, calendar 256, Mr. Blake, an act to amend the executive law.
Read the last section.
This act shall take effect on the 90th day.
Clerk will record the vote. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, sir. Reminder to members, this is our first vote of the day. So folks in the chambers should cast their votes, and those who are still making their way and can hear the sound of our voices, they should make their way over so they can participate in the first vote of the day as well.
First vote of the day, members come to the chamber.